simply ask the person who says, I can abort my child because, ask them if we can do that to a toddler. Does that argument allow us to commit homicide against a 2-year-old? And of course, I hope, they're going to say, well, no, we can't do that, which exposes the core issue when it comes to life. What is it? That's always the question, because you see, if it is just a mole, who cares? No Christian would ever sit outside on a sidewalk of a dermatologist to say, hey, how dare you get rid of those moles? Why? Because, well, it is just a mole. A child is a whole innocent human being. And when we camp on answering that question, what is it? We will always ride our sled to victory. Let us, courtesy of Scott Klusendorf and John Fabares of Road Trip to Truth Season 2, which has a study guide I think that your youth group will dig so that they can respond to the pro-abort arguments.
It's your body, it's your choice. Would you agree or disagree with that?
I agree with that. It is true.
Yeah, because if somebody was to tell me that, like, I got a tattoo, and somebody tell me I can't have this tattoo, I mean, who do you tell me that? It's my body, it's my choice.
We're back at it again with male pro-life apologist Scott Klusendorf, which shouldn't bother you since arguments don't have genders.
Some who object to the pro-life position use the phrase, my body, my choice. Does that make sense?
Well, it doesn't, because there's another body involved, that of the unborn human being that we know already exists inside her. So to claim that this is simply a debate about one body and one choice is wrong on the face of it.
You've got two bodies. You've got two people. You've got two humans, right? Not just one, because if it was just one, it's like saying, you know, a woman has the right to get a nose job. Okay, it's just her body, it's her choice, fine. But when you're talking about abortion, you're talking about two bodies.
Does science support the my body, my choice position?
Think about it for a moment. The child in the womb can have a separate blood type from its mother. It has separate DNA from its mother. It also could have a separate sex or gender from its mother. So to say that this is part of the mother's body scientifically doesn't work at all. In fact, here's another piece of evidence that we should look at. When the mother initially becomes pregnant, her own body will mount an attack on the newly developing human being, thinking it's a foreign object. Even her own body does not treat the unborn human as part of her body. It treats it as something separate.
You know, with abortion, you're imposing a law on the unborn's body, right? How is the unborn different than the mother?
The mother would be the one to raise the child, and so if she's not able to raise it for whatever circumstance, then that child may suffer. And so I feel like, therefore, it's her say.
Using people's bodies to harm other people. That's enforcing a law on my body. Do you think any laws should be in place to keep people from using their bodies to do things that might be bad to other people?
The way you're wording it, it kind of made me think like, dang, I just said this about abortion. I never even thought about it that way, but that just helps me even prove my point more, as in like, they didn't even get a chance to see the world.
What is the Christian response to the my body, my choice position?
I am not master of my own body. Nobody is master of their own body in an absolute sense that they can do whatever they want with it. For example, I cannot use my body to unjustly harm another innocent human being. So the idea that we are masters of our own body needs to be mitigated against the truth that we have responsibility to others. Not only that, if we have a maker, we are not our own masters. We belong to our maker, and that's the biblical foundation we need to ground our identity in.
Well, that was handled rather tidily, but, says the pro-abort, what about the life of the mother? Don't we see that little caveat in virtually every pro-life piece of legislation? Always the excuse. A woman can abort her baby because, well, her life might be compromised in some way, shape, or form.
Do you think abortion would be acceptable if the pregnancy is threatening the life of the mother?
Dang, you got me thinking so hard, I forgot the question.
So if there was an abortion that had to take place for the life of the mother, would you support that or not support that?
I would support it.
That once again goes back to what the mother wants. If the mother values their child more than their own life, that would be acceptable. However, some people don't want to have their children, which I understand.
A lot of people say that abortion is okay if the pregnancy threatens the life of the mother. Is that a justifiable reason for abortion?
The first thing we need to do is carefully define our terms. Do we mean a threat to the health of the mother or a threat to the life of the mother? And in law, those are completely different things. Health has been defined so broadly that now if a woman is depressed about being pregnant or it's going to hurt her socioeconomic status, that justifies a health threat leading to abortion. If we mean life of the mother, what we mean is a direct, unquestioned risk to her life, not her health. So we got to define our terms clearly. In the case where we're talking about the life of the mother, the physician needs to make a decision. He needs to decide, am I intentionally killing an innocent human being, or is it an issue where I foresee the death of an innocent human being, but I don't intend it? My intention is to save the mother, not intentionally kill an innocent human being. If our intention is to kill an innocent human being, we are in the wrong.
Do you think there's any difference between a medical treatment for saving the life of a mother and then an abortion?
Not really. I'm trying to, okay, hold on.
Let's take ectopic pregnancy for an example. This is where the developing human being implants on the inner wall of the fallopian tube rather than the uterine wall. In that case, as that embryo grows in that narrow tube, I think you can see the risk to the mother. She may end up hemorrhaging to death if that tube breaks. So how should we approach that situation that is a real threat to the mother's life? Not just her health, her life. Well, what we need to do is, if possible, treat both as patients. But often we can't do that in ectopic pregnancy. We can only save the mother. So in that case, we should do the greatest moral good we can, which is to save the one life in front of us. True, we can foresee the death of the embryonic human being, but we don't intend it. And that's why surgery to save the mother's life in the case of ectopic pregnancy is not abortion. Abortion is the intentional killing of an innocent human being. In this case, we don't intend the death of the innocent human being. We foresee it, but our intention is to save the one life we can, the mother.
The purpose of that surgery is not we're going to go in and kill this child. The purpose is we need to save the life of this mother. So the intention is totally different.
Because like if you die before the baby's even born, then that's two,
Right.
you know? So like I guess taking a chance, that's acceptable.
My sister-in-law, not very bright, named all of her kids Bible names, so there I am playing with my nephew, The Message. I'm kidding, that's not really a Bible. And that is why Samson was the best comedian in the Bible. He brought the house down. He brews his own coffee. he brews